So go ahead and find a comfortable place to rest on your back. Grab any pillows, blankets, props that you want to have nearby, and set yourself up so that you can be nice and comfy. And then come on down. So if your low back gives you any issues when you are lying on your back, just bend your knees, take your feet a little wider than your hips, and let your knees drop in on one another. And this can be a really nice release for the low back. And if lying down is totally uncomfortable, then go ahead and sit up. That's absolutely fine. You're gonna just find a place where you can rest comfortably. Put your hands, either lie by your side or just rest gently on your belly. Let your eyes close. And then take a moment to just notice how your body has landed. And then feel and notice if there are any parts that are feeling any discomfort, and see if you can adjust to create more ease. So maybe the shoulders need to come away from the ears, or the tailbone needs to lengthen a little bit, or you need to bend your knees or straighten your knees. Whatever it is, make those adjustments and then settle back in. And start to feel yourself really arriving here. So letting everything that's already happened today, or all the things that you have left to do today, kind of fall away, or at least move to the outskirts, and let your awareness and your attention come right into this moment, right into your body on your mat, feeling yourself arriving in your practice, and coming into this place of embodiment so that we're totally present in our own bodies, in our own beings. And when I say body, it's the whole body, right? The physical body, but also your emotional, your mental body, your spiritual body. It's all those layers that make up you. And every layer, every part of you is invited to this practice. Even the shadow sides and the light sides and all of those feelings that you might be having, all of it is invited to be here right now. And let that entirety of you be supported here by the earth. Your entire being held by the earth, being held by your breath, by your practice. So this becomes this kind of container for you to show up fully present, just as you are, without any need to change or fix yourself. Our yoga practice isn't about fixing ourselves. It's about showing up for ourselves and being present and finding that connection to our deepest self. So start to tap into that, start to find that. Start to deepen the breath and get even more expansive, even more full. Start to draw into that center line as you exhale, finding that center, that deep place in yourself. And then if there are any other intentions you want to set for your practice, go ahead and do that. Maybe you want to dedicate your practice to someone or something. When we do that, it's really about dedicating this energy that we're creating, right? We're moving our bodies with our breath. We're creating that prana, that life force energy, so that it flows through us, but it also surrounds us, and it also can be emanating from us. So maybe you want to send that out. Take another couple breaths here. And then if your hands aren't already resting on your body, let them come there. And then let your hands just interlace right over your belly. Like you're supported and resting, letting the arms drape across the side. Being held by yourself. And send yourself some love. And then go ahead and let the eyes flicker open and let the knees come up and the ankles come in line with the sits bones. And then take these interlaced hands, reach them up right over your chest, and then flip the palms so that the palms are pressing up now. Spread open your fingers, spread open your palms, and press the wrists up, and then also all the way up through your shoulders. So you're lifting the shoulders away from the floor, and then let the shoulders drop back to the floor and flip the palms back over. Now keep your knees upright and the arms in line with the shoulders, and let them drop over to the right. If you can, keep that interlace, so your right elbow is going to bend and your left arm is going to just stretch right across your chest. And then let your head travel with the arms. You can see how that feels. And then maybe you get even a little more pull with that right arm stretching across your left shoulder. And then as you inhale, start to let that left shoulder come back down and the back of the head come back down and the arms come back up. And then as you exhale, let the left arm come down. The elbow's going to land first, and then start to let that left arm, forearm, and hand get heavy to pull that right arm, and then let your head come with. Good. Okay. And then head and arms come back up. Now we're going to bring the legs.
Don't put the video on. See,
so
there's
arms
want to get it
over
on
to
there?
the right. Head can come with the arms.
Because you're not.
Drop to the left.
I knew I put it on there though.
Well, that's not the problem. You're not in the mode to
And
get
then
this.
at the same
You go
time,
here
on the
to
exhale, squeeze your belly,
like
bring
this.
the knees up, bring the arms
Because I went
up.
out and did something there.
Drop
Watch
the
some
arms
music.
over to the left,
Go to
start your
source,
head to the left, and then slowly let the knees
one of
drop
those
to the right. See how that works?
HDMI. You don't know. I think it's the other one. And then you click on there.
And then exhale, squeeze the belly, bring the arms up, bring the
And
knees
you
up.
want volume.
Okay, back to the first side. Arms to the right, legs to the left. This time, let your fingers release their grip. Let the right arm float down, and then like you're opening a book, let that left arm open up.
You want your camera on?
No.
Now, bring your right knee to stack on top of your left.
Nice.
And anchor the back of the right shoulder down.
I like this.
Now, the knees are stacking and the left arm's out. Let the right arm come over like a book. So now you're just resting on the left side of the body. The palms touching, the knees touching. And then open your right arm like a book. Take it up and all the way over. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Let the right shoulder anchor, the right arm anchor, and the head drop over.
Thank you.
And then let that left hand come back and let the knees unwind. Bring that left hand to your right hand and the arms come back up and they drop over to the left and the knees drop over to the right. And then the left arm releases and the right arm opens like a book. And then maybe the left knee comes up and stacks on top of the right and the left shoulder continues to hang. And then that left arm is going to come up and over. Close the book so you're resting on your right side now. And then inhale and open the book of your arms and your heart, and the shoulder drops and the arm drops. And then bring that right back, arm back over, bend the left hand, knees come up, arms come up. Hug the knees into your chest now. Take these interlaced hands right around your legs. Maybe stay here, maybe slide that grip up to your forearms or your elbows. And then curl your head and your forehead up to your knees. Keep that grip as tight as you can, and then drop the head back to the floor. This is going to be a nice tight grip in your hips. And just breathe into your belly. Give your belly a massage, those internal organs a massage. Breathe into your hips here. And then let your hands slide apart and your knees slide apart. So now left hand on left knee, right hand on right knee, and the knees are wide towards your shoulders, and rock the whole torso side to side. Good. Now, bring your knees up to 90 degrees above your hips. Okay. Take your right foot to the floor. Keep your left knee at 90 degrees. Interlace your hands behind your head and your neck with the thumbs running down the length of the neck. So it's like a little extra support. And actually, while we're here, give your neck a little massage. So your belly is strong, and then you're just massaging your neck a little bit. Okay. And then find that hammock for the head. Take an inhale, lengthen your tailbone, and start to press your navel to your spine and press your low back to the floor. Yeah? So you have that nice solid connection. And then exhale and curl your head and shoulders up. Keep pressing your navel down and your back down. And then let the weight of the head drop back into your hands. And then let your elbows widen and pull the belly in. So knee is staying right over the hip. If the tendency is going to want to bring it in, don't do that. Keep it right over the knee or over the hip. Now, keep your left hand holding your head. Take your right hand to the front of the left thigh. Now you're going to push your hand into your thigh and resist your hand with your thigh. Push. There's an isometric contraction. You're pushing and pressing, and you're going to start to feel, hopefully, a little shake in your abdomen. Yeah? Okay, so I'm shaking. My neck is relaxing back, my head back into my hands, my belly is pressing into my spine, and my back's pressing to the earth, and how much action you put here is up to you. Stay with that, keep pressing, 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 good. And then gently release your head back down. Keep your knee there and go ahead and hug it in, interlace the hands, and just draw that knee right into your chest. And then windshield wiper it across your chest. Good. And then slide the hands behind your thigh and straighten the leg and flex and point the foot. Good. Okay. Now land with your foot flexing and cross your ankle over your right thigh. And you're wanting to flex that left foot so much that the outer edge or the pinky edge of the foot kind of hooks onto your outer right thigh. And then resist. Resist by pressing your right thigh to the right and your outer left foot to the left, or your left knee to the left. Good. Maintain that. Now hug your belly and your core in and hug your outer hips in. So you're squeezing your glutes a little bit, maintaining that. Pull apart with the legs and then draw in through the hips and the core. Okay, so you have that opposite. Now keep that and draw the right knee towards you and keep drawing the left knee away and pulling apart. And you can interlace the hands behind the thigh, behind the right thigh. And breathe into the outer hip. Good. And then release the right foot down. Extend the left leg back up and just flex and point and flex and point and slowly lower that leg down. Now notice at one point your low back wants to lift. Push the back down again, pull the belly down again, firm up your core and continue. And if your back just wants to stay lifted, then at that point bend the knee. So that we're not taking this abdominal work into our low back, but we're keeping it right into the low belly. Okay? And then bend that left knee. Take both knees back at 90 degrees. Take both hands on your thighs. Press and resist. Both thighs, your back is down, your head is down, your belly is down. Press and resist. Press and resist. Again, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but if you're wanting to work here, you're creating that work for yourself. Hold it. Feet are active. You're trying to bring your knees into your head, and then you're trying to press your hands towards the end of your mat. Good. And then hug both knees in. Okay. Set your left knee down. Bring your right knee at 90 degrees. So right above your hip or even a little bit in front of it. Switch up the clasp of your hands. So probably left thumb comes on top, but take it the other way, and then draw the thumbs down the neck. So knees at 90 degrees. Already your hip flexors starting to work, your legs starting to work, and your belly. And then press your low back down and pull your navel down. And this might be where you stay. Or curl your head and shoulders up. Again, pull the belly down. Then let the weight of the head drop back into the hands and let the elbows widen. Now, for this one, either set your head back down or keep your right hand there and release your left hand to your thigh. Now, with your head and shoulders lifted, press your hand into your thigh, press your thigh into your hand, press your navel down to your spine and your back down to the earth. And maintain all of that. Try and lift the head and shoulders. Try and press your thigh and your hand together. And it's almost like you're trying to lift your bum off the ground a little bit, like you're trying to curl your tailbone up a little bit at the same time. And that's going to help lengthen your low back. Hold and breathe. Again, you're going to find that little shake if you want it. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Then release the head down and let the knee come in and just hug your knee in and windshield wiper it across the chest. Good. And then slide the hands behind the thigh and straighten your leg up. And then flex and point. And get some good exaggeration. So really point the toes up to the ceiling. You're trying to stretch the front of the foot. And then really pull the toes down to your shin. So you're opening the back sole of the foot and all the way down to your Achilles tendon and calf. Now keep this strong flex and bend the knee and cross that ankle over your left thigh. Again, with that strong flexed foot, you're trying to hook the pinky edge of the foot to the outer edge of the thigh and draw apart. And at the same time you're drawing apart, you're sending that right knee away. Good. Okay, keep all of that action. Belly strong, and start to draw your left knee towards you. And then you can interlace around your thigh. And breathe. Good. Okay. And then go ahead and set your left foot down. Straighten the right leg back up to the ceiling. And as you lower, point, flex, point, flex. And again, keep your back anchoring down. And at any point it wants to lift, re-anchor it. And if it doesn't want to do that, just bend the knee and set the foot down. No big deal. Good. And then set the foot down. Bring both knees back at 90 degrees. Set both hands to the thighs, the navel to the spine, and the back to the floor. Press and resist. Press and resist. Draw the shoulders out of the ears, even though you're using the arms here. Scoop your low belly up and in. Lift your tailbone just slightly, like even a centimeter off the ground as you use your low belly to resist. Continue, relax the jaw. Relax the face. The work is all in the belly, a little bit in the arms. And 3. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths. And last breath, hug the knees in. Really nice work, you guys. Okay. Set the feet back down, heels in line with the sits bones. Now relax the arms by your side and slide the shoulders down from the ears. Okay? And then draw them together a little bit underneath you. Then lengthen your tailbone back. So your shoulders are slightly rolled under you, and that's going to want to pop up your ribs in your back. Keep the shoulders, but then lengthen your back. So like you're trying to scoot your tailbone between the heels of the feet. Okay, feet are parallel, ankles are under the knees. And then press your feet into the earth to start to lift the hips up. Now, same thing. If your belly wants to lift, start to lengthen your tailbone as if you're trying to send it between your knees now. So your belly draws down, the tailbone lengthens. Okay. Your shoulders are still rolled under a little bit, and your arms can come a little closer together if that feels good, or just keep them relaxed. Head is neutral. Now bring awareness into the feet. Feel into the tripod in each of the feet. So the base of the big toe, the base of the pinky toe, and the heels of the feet. Anchor down. Like you have little suction cups in that tripod. Roll your inner thighs down, and then start to isometrically pull the heels back to your shoulders. They're not going to move, but you want to imagine you're dragging your heels back, and that should turn on your hamstrings, turn on your glutes. Good. Now, as you're doing that, continue to send your tailbone between the knees. So the energy's moving in both directions. The heels are drawing back, the tailbone's lengthening forward. And then find your breath here and settle into it for 3 more. There should be a lot of fire happening in the core and in your back legs. 2 more breaths. To come out, we're going to move slowly. So curl your tailbone up, lower the upper back down, pause. Lower the mid back down from the top to bottom, pause. So your low back's curled up a lot, and then all the way down through your low back. Woo, and then separate the feet, separate the arms, and windshield wiper the knees side to side. Come all the way to the right, both knees to the right, and this time the feet are separated. So send your left knee down to the end of the mat and towards the floor. Send your left arm up over your head, and then maybe take your right hand, grab the left wrist, and pull it. If that feels like too much, just keep the arms soft. No big deal. But engage your glutes to help extend that left thigh. Good. And then release the arms, the legs come back and over to the left. Start by sending your right knee forward and down. So you should really feel a big opening in this quad. Engage that right glute especially and send your right arm up. Maybe use your left hand to pull your right arm long out from your shoulder as your right knee sends forward and down. So your whole right side's getting a nice long open stretch. Good, and then relax the arms and bring the knees back to center. Slide both hands behind the thighs and start to rock yourself front to back, or just roll to your side. We're gonna come up. So rocking front and back and front and back. And then come into just an easy cross leg. And I say easy, knowing full well this is not easy for everybody. So take whatever cushions you may need to make this accessible to you. So that might mean sitting way up on a cushion or a block. Beautiful, do that, no big deal. Start with your start with your right leg in front. I'll switch out. And then inhale, sit up tall, and on the exhale, bring energy through all 10 toes. Just take a little walk forward. Now, wherever your sits bones are landing, if that's on a floor or a cushion or a blanket, send them down, and then send the heart forward. Tent up onto your fingertips like you have little suction cups in your fingertips. So we're going to start to turn on the hands and the wrists here, and then just let the neck be neutral. And then walk those fingertips, tented fingers back in, and take the left hand outside the left hip. Keep it up on its fingertips. Spin the elbow in towards your hip and your shoulder down out of the ear, and then take the right arm up. And then go ahead and flatten that hand, bend the elbow, and reach your right arm up and over to the left, and then send your right knee over to the right. So stretch your knee and your arm away from one another. And then just let your left ear come towards that left shoulder, and the left shoulder drop out of the left ear. Good, and breathe into the right ribs, and then take that arm straight up. Keep your head dropping, but take a micro bend in this right elbow. And it's kind of more at a diagonal from your shoulder. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, pull your belly in and send the back of the hand back. And you can kind of play around with the bend in the elbow or the height of the arm. But you want to feel a nice opening in this right.
We got to resolve. We have much stuff.
Shoulders dropping. Good. And then take the arm back at that diagonal and extend it. So straighten out the elbow and flip the palm so it faces down, and then just extend out and away from your shoulder. As you do that, your left ear is dropping to your left shoulder. So right hand reaches out, fingers are spreading, reaching, reaching, reaching. Pause when you find a spot that feels
I'll do it later.
Where your body says, yes, I could pause here, I could open here a little bit more, I could use a little bit more length here, a little bit more breath, and send your breath there. And how high or how low that is completely dependent on your own body. Good. And then start to pull through that right hand until the fingertips land to the earth. Take your left hand and just help the head back up. Relax both arms, close both eyes, and feel. Feel into both sides of the body, the waist, the ribs, and all the way up into your neck, and maybe even through your shoulder and arms. Open the eyes and take your left fingertips out from the left hip. Roll that left shoulder down, tuck that left elbow into your hip, and send your right arm straight up. Good. Up. Hold on. Take that arm back down. Switch the cross of your legs. Let's start there.
You shouldn't have muted everybody.
Fingertips in front of you. Walk the hands out in front of you. Inhale the heart along the spine, along the shoulders back, and then exhale, sits bones down, neck long.
Toña, can you mute us, please? Somebody is talking and it's very distracting.
Keep breathing. And then, good. And then walk your right hand out to the right hip. So you're back up. Shoulder drops, elbow tucks, like deja vu, we've been here. Send the left arm up. Start to bend that right elbow into your hip. Reach your left arm up and then take it up and over to the right. Shoulder drops, elbow tucks in, and then the head drops. Reach. As you do that, send your left knee forward and down. Breathe into your left ribs. Good. And then from here, inhale and take that left arm up. At that diagonal, take a micro bend in the elbow. Palm is forward here. Inhale, lift your heart, and then exhale, ribs in belly and back of the hand back. Open across your chest here. Breathe here. And then inhale, bring that arm back to neutral, extend it. Flip the palm down, keep dropping the ear, spread your fingers, reach out and away, out and away. And then again, you're gonna pause in that spot in your own body where it feels good. And send your breath, and wash the breath. And then as you inhale, be pulled up by those left fingers until the fingertips touch the floor. Right hand helps the head up. Close the eyes, release the hands, take a moment to feel. Okay. And then open the eyes and come with your legs crossed in the most comfortable way. So right or left leg in front, I don't care. Come with whichever's the most comfortable. Come with your spine really nice and long and take your hands onto your ribs so that the forefingers wrap around the front and the thumbs wrap around the back and your palms are kind of resting on your side ribs. If this doesn't feel accessible, your shoulders feel crunchy or uncomfortable, no big deal. You want, maybe set it there for a second, get that physical sensation, and your hands can just rest. But we're giving ourselves that physical feedback with our hands of expanding into our ribs. So we're gonna come into a little pranayama, controlled breath. We're gonna go for an even inhale and an even exhale. We're gonna shoot for a count of 6. If that count doesn't work for you, take 4, take 8, whatever. Okay, you can close your eyes, you can have your eyes open. The most important thing is that you're sitting upright, that your spine is long and you feel relatively comfortable seated here. So exhale wherever you are in your breath count, and then inhale for 1, 2, belly's filling up, 3, ribs are starting to fill up, 4, you're feeling that expansion into your thumbs and into your fingers, 5, you're taking it all the way up into the collarbone, 6, pause full, and then as you exhale, 6, let your collarbone soften. 5, start to feel your ribs drawing together. 4, 3, start to feel your belly draw in. 2, and at the bottom, pull the navel to the spine. 1, pause there. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause, full. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, empty. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, full. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Keep your hands there or release them. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, full. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale, take your arms with you. 1, let them move straight up over the shoulders. 2, 3, stretch up tall. 4, 5, at the full top of the inhale, stretch the side body, stretch the arms, hold full, and then bring the palms together. Exhale, draw them down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, at 1, they land to the heart. Close the eyes if they're not already there. Return to your even breath, your own rhythm of breath, in and out through the nose. Come into that feeling of presence once again. That connection to your deepest self. I'm going to go ahead and open the eyes, and we're going to make our way onto our hands and our knees, tabletop. So stack the shoulders over the wrists and stack the hips over the knees. Curl your toes under and then start to walk, and then actually lift up onto your fingertips if that works for you, and start to walk your fingertips back as you slowly start to set your sits bones, your hips down onto your heels. Now, at some point, your feet might say, nope, no thank you, in which case you're going to come more upright, or you're going to stay here and support yourself with your hands. If you can sit to your heels, you're going to sit to your heels, and then you're going to take your fingers and stretch out the pinky toes and try and get them on the floor. And then you're just pausing and breathing for a minute and opening up your feet. Really important to open the feet. So if this is excruciating, you can, at home, use your hands to self-manipulate, stretch, open the toes, open the soles of the feet. Really good for balance. If you can walk barefoot, that's also really nice work for your feet, your ankles. Okay, that's enough. Come back with fingertips on the floor if you can. If your hands don't like this, flatten your hands or fist your hands. So there's options. Lift up off your heels, walk those fingertips forward, your fists forward or your hands forward until they come under the shoulders. Uncurl the toes and tap out the tops of the feet. And then just set them down. Now your hands are getting a little bit of work here. Again, at any point you need to set them down, take care of you, okay? We're gonna take cat-cow here. So start with the tailbone rise and keep the low belly firm as your belly drops and your ribs open and your heart lifts and the crown of the head extends and the shoulders draw back. And then as you exhale, let the tailbone curl in, let the belly lift, round, press into your hands in whatever form they're taking, and let the head drop. One more. Use your breath. Inhale, open the front of the body. Exhale, round, open the back of the body. Good. Now, come flat onto your hands. Walk the knees together and sit on the heels. Again, if that doesn't work, stand on the shins. Bring your hands together now, interlaced, and press the knuckles forward, and then separate your palms and press the wrists forward and pull your arm bones apart. So your shoulders are drawing, that same kind of push away from you is happening here. Good. Now separate the hands and plug the arm bones back. Retract. And then protract arms forward and retract arms back. So my torso is not moving. It's all in that shoulder girdle. Forward and back and forward and back. Good. Set the hands down. Now, come back up so that the weight is in the shins and in the knees. Hands back under the shoulders. Flip your right hand over so that the fingers are pointing towards your knees, but now the fingernails are on the ground and the back of the hand maybe comes to the ground. And if it does and your fingers are separated, maybe sit back. So you determine how much work you take there. Good. And then set that hand down and switch. Left hand's gonna flip over and sit back. And then release that. Good. So now back into your cat-cow. Or back into your tabletop, excuse me. Okay, biceps are gonna spin forward, ribs are gonna lift in, belly's gonna lift in, neck is long, spine is long, tailbone is long. Now the right leg is long, heel is back. Press into the heel. And you're even gonna press into your hands a little bit to get that full extension and length, but keep the core firming to the midline. So that core sitting action is still happening. Now, release that tension on the foot so the shoulders land back over the wrist. Flex your foot and lift the leg. And then roll the inner thigh up so that the heel's pointed up and the toes are pointing down. Your bellies and your ribs are in. Keep this if you can and bend your knees. So now the sole of the foot is facing the ceiling. The inner thigh's rolling up, the belly's up, and the ribs are up. Okay, we're going to extend, inhale. Exhale, bend and curl in. Just 3 more of these. Inhale, extend that right glute, working right hamstring. Exhale, curl in. 2 more. Ribs in, belly in. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine you have like a band or some resistance there, right? And then extend. Firm into your arms, firm into your core. See if your left fingertips can come on the floor. Now you can stay flexed or you can point the foot. Whichever feels better. Left fingertips to the floor. Maybe that left arm floats up. We're just here for 3 breaths. If this doesn't work, your hands are on the floor, your fingertips are on the floor. You choose. 1 more breath. Hand down, knee down. Good. Take the knees wide. Let the big toes touch. Sit onto your heels. Rest to the earth. Child's pose. From here, tent up onto your fingertips again. So your wrists lift, your elbows lift, and then spin the biceps up. It's going to be less exaggerated. Now walk over to the left. Flatten your hands. Take your right hand, interlace it over the top of the left. So your fingers go into the webbing of the left hand. Take an inhale, stretch long, anchor those hands to the earth, and then as you exhale, start to roll the right side towards the floor. Right hip anchoring to the right sit bone. Till you feel a nice, big, deepest opening in that right side, and then take your inhale and fill it up with breath. Use the breath to expand that stretch all the way from the hip crease out through your hand. Head is just relaxing. It can maybe even be resting between the biceps. Beautiful. Soften the grip. Walk your hands back to center. Lift back up. Walk the knees back in. Back to your tabletop. Okay. Set yourself back up. Wrists under the shoulders. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, firm core. Now, send your left foot back. Heel pressing back, toes curled under. Press all the way from your hands to your heels. But keep that core sitting in your midsection. And then keep the length in the neck. So you'll want to drop it. But if you're looking back, we're not long. So keep that extension. Think heel to crown extending. Biceps are spinning forward. Belly is strong. Good. Now bring the shoulders right back over the wrists and the right hip back over the knee. Firm into the core. Lift up through your left heel. Try and keep your heel up, toes down, the inner thigh spinning up, the belly and the ribs in. Okay. From here, Exhale, bend the knee. Sole of the foot faces straight up. If you can, keep the knee up in line with the hip. Inhale and extend out. Ribs in, belly in. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, curl in. Imagine you're pushing against something, like as if your hand were there resisting your leg. One more time. Exhale, curl in. Try not to let the ribs drop and the belly drop. And then inhale and extend again. Stay with the foot flexed or pointed. Stay with the hand flat or tent up onto your hand, onto your fingertips. Maybe stay here or extend that right arm. And then again, ribs in, belly in. Press that left hand into the earth. So you're not sinking into that shoulder, but you're pushing the floor away from you. Beautiful. Hand down, knee down. Keep your knees together this time. Sink yourself back. Take the arms back behind you. Embryo. Let the shoulders drape right over your legs. Okay, and then hands come back out in front. Knees widen again. Walk the hands out. Tent up onto your fingertips again and walk your hands over to the right now. Okay, so find that extension and then flatten the hands. Take your left hand, interlace the fingers into the webbing of the right hand, flatten both hands. Inhale, feel that side body get long. And then as you exhale, melt the left side towards the earth. Sink your left sit bone towards your left heel. And then big inhale is going to expand those ribs, stretch all the way from the hip to the hand. That same sensation as if you were holding your ribs in your hands, that's how you're breathing. And then as you exhale, soften the grip of the hands, walk the hands back to front, lift back up to tabletop, walk the knees back under the hips. Move your body in whatever way feels good here. So maybe that's a cat-cow, or maybe that's circling the ribs or circling the head. Take about 4 breaths to move here while I get this spider outside. Deep breaths. Thank you. From here, you're going to come with the toes curled under again and stand up on your knees this time. Okay. From here, inhale, take the arms up, stretch up tall, and we're going to bring our right foot forward for a lunge. Now, if you know you want assistance with that, you have your blocks, your books, or whatever it is you're using, or your chair for assistance. Otherwise, on the exhale, use your belly to bring that right knee up and step the foot forward. Okay, now once it's there, pretty much ankle under knee, go ahead and uncurl the left toes and point the toes behind you. And then feel the top of the foot anchor, feel the shin anchor, feel the knee anchor. Good. And then feel for drawing that leg forward a little bit. Now feel into your front foot. Anchor into that tripod and feel that foot drag back as if you're trying to draw your inner thighs together. Okay. Then lift your low belly, lift your heart, and lift your crown. Then set your right sit bone a little closer to your heel so you feel that left hip flexor really opening. Now, if your back doesn't like this, back off. Or pull your low belly even in more. So we're really supporting the length of that low back. Try and draw that outer right hip back a little bit while maintaining that scissoring in the thighs. Good. Now interlace the hands above the head again. Press the knuckles up so you're stretching your biceps by the ears. And then flip the palms over and press the palms up. Good. Biceps up by the ears and maybe even slightly behind. And then as you do that, your ribs are going to want to flare open. So hug the front ribs back, hug the back back. I mean the belly back. Good. Now flip your hands back over, palms together, knuckles up. Inhale, reach up and over to the right. Now keep your left hand gripping, open your right hand, pull up and over. Good. and then inhale back to center. Separate your hands, set them down to frame this front leg. And again, this can be a nice place to have a little bit of height. Your left hip's gonna shift so it comes over the left knee, and your right heel's gonna press into the mat so your toes can pull back. And then take that pull all the way up into the kneecap. Kneecap draws back. And then inhale and extend your heart forward and your crown of the head forward. And breathe into the back of the leg. Half Konasana. Good. And then shift your right foot back to the floor and the knee back over the ankle, and bring your hands onto those fingertips, framing that front foot. Or you're on your blocks or whatever it is you have. Okay? We're coming into a runner's lunge. Curl your left toes under now. Take an inhale, feel your spine get long, and on the exhale, firm into the belly, press into the feet, and lift that left knee off the ground. Your right knee doesn't move. It stays stacked over the ankle. Your hands are there for stability. Now, if you were to look down, your feet are separated about hip distance. If they're not, adjust them so they are. You'll have a broader base of support. Okay. Now, and your hips might look like they're up here a little bit more. That's okay. Having that height is going to help accommodate that. So however it works for you. And if this isn't working for you, your knee's on the ground. Totally fine. Okay. We're going to try and hover our hands. So firm into those legs. All that same action we did in that low lunge. Try and lift your hands. Good. Try and float them back by your hips. And you're going to pause anywhere that doesn't feel good. And then shoulders back. And then see if you can bend your elbows and interlace your hands behind your back and press the knuckles back. Yep, it's a lot of work in the legs. Keep your belly firming for that. Good. Set your hands down to your sacrum and down to the floor. Set your knee back, left knee back down. Straighten that right leg again. Good. Now, take your right hand out to the right a little bit. Take your left hand outside your right shin and draw your right hip back. And if that's too much, then left hand on the leg or keep it inside. But diagonal or turn your torso a bit to the right. Keep firm in the legs and active in the feet. Beautiful. Come back through center. Go ahead and use the help of your hands to bring that knee back. Inhale, stand back up, toes are curled under, firm up the belly, firm up the core, and we're going to bring the left foot forward, so take whatever support you need to get that. And then on the exhale, pick up that left knee, set it forward. Inhale, stretch up tall, uncurl the right toes, point them back behind you, anchor the shin down, and the front foot, draw them together. So we're creating that same foundation. Belly lifts, heart lifts, crown lifts. Then exhale, and left sit bone drops. Low belly lifts, front ribs draw back, heart lifts, crown lifts, shoulders drop. Good. Okay. Now, from here, interlace the hands again, switching up the clasp. Flip the palms up, press them up. Draw the wrists away from one another. Keep the belly and the ribs in. Flip the palms back over, the hands back over, so knuckles are up and palms are together. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, arms up and over to the left. Keep your right hand gripping, open your left hand. You should feel this strongly in that right waist, right hip flexor, front of the right thigh. Inhale and unwind that. Separate the hands. And exhale, set them down to frame that front foot. Shift the right hip over the right knee, flip the left toes up, pull them back as your heart draws forward and your shoulders draw back. Let the neck be long. Go for more of a long spine than a fold in. Okay. Now we're going to transition into that runner's lunge. So set the left foot flat. Stop once that knee is stacked over the ankle and bring your hands to frame the foot. Tent up onto the fingertips or come up on your blocks or whatever it works. Curl the right toes under, take an inhale, feel your spine get long. Exhale, belly in, ribs in, leg straightens. Now same thing, left hip draws back. You're still drawing the front foot and back foot towards one another, and you're dropping the right hip down a little bit. Now, maybe, just maybe, the hands hover, and maybe they float back. And then maybe they interlace in the opposite clasp as the shoulders roll back, the knuckles press back. This can totally be done with your knee on the ground. All of the same action is happening. Set the hands down to your sacrum, set them to frame that foot, set your right knee down, walk your hands back, half split, left toes roll back, heart extends forward. And then you're just going to use the support of your hands to drag that left foot back, and inhale, stand up. Good. Okay, now we're actually going to stand up here. Okay, exhale, set the hands down, curl both toes under, roll over the feet. So feet are hip distance ideally. And then you're going to come into the squat. Now, if your knees don't like this, we're standing up, so you can stand up however it works for you to stand up. Heels are dropping, open up the feet here, open up the calves. And then use your hands and use your feet. Take an inhale, spine long. And as you exhale, press into the hands, press into the feet, lift your hips, set your feet down flat. And then you can have whatever here to support you. Let your head drop and let your torso or your whole body shift from the toes to the heels. Good. Then let your whole body, with the knees soft, sway from left to right. Good. Now soften the knees, pull the belly in, and roll yourself all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch the arms up tall. And exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way back down, knees soft. This time, walk your hands up to your thighs and inhale, extend your heart forward. Pull your ribs and pull your belly in so your spine gets long and your neck gets long, shoulders down from the ears. Now you can stay here. You should feel your back muscles working, the back of the legs working, and your belly working, okay? Then you can maybe hover your hands by your hips like you're flying. Good. Now flip the palms so that they're facing towards one another, thumb up, pinky down, or pinky up, thumb down rather. And exhale, squeeze the palms together. Draw the shoulders back. So now you're working the whole back body really strongly. You can do this upright if you're feeling like that's too much on the low back. You can still work your upper back here. Everybody bend the elbows, interlace, roll the shoulders back, press the knuckles back. Whether you're upright or you're hinged, we're going to come all the way into a forward fold with the knees soft and the head heavy. Good. And then press to your knuckles, soften through the knees, and inhale, unhinge here. Good. Shoulders back, knuckles down, ribs in, belly, lift your heart. Maybe lift the gaze, but that's not so necessary. Just think about this expansion of the heart diagonally up, and the arms gently lifting away from the backside as your ribs strongly pull in and back. Good. And then release the hands to the sacrum and come upright. Inhale, take both arms up overhead, shift the weight into the left foot, soften the knee, and pick the right knee right up into your chest. Just bring it as high as it'll go. And it might be with the toes on the ground, beautiful. That's balancing. It might be hovering, or it might be really lifted. Doesn't much matter. Circle out your ankle here. Good. And then set the toes back down and open your knee out to the side. So I'm going to mirror you now. And set the heel maybe above your ankle for a tree, or onto the side of the calf, or onto your upper inner thigh. And then wherever you are, above or below the knee, so you're not pushing on the side of the knee. Find that isometric contraction between the sole of the foot and your leg. Firm into the midline. Beautiful. Hands back to the heart. Bring that knee back forward and set the foot back down. Now shift. Take the weight into the right foot, soften the knee, pick up the left foot. So maybe pick up the heel, pick up the whole foot, or pick up the knee. Okay. Then set the toes back down and spin the knee out so that the heel lands above the ankle, the foot lands inside the calf, or the foot lands to the inner upper thigh. Again, find that contraction, push in, and then this time extend the arms up. Lift out of your standing hip, lift up through the heart, lift up through the crown, and then hands to the heart, knee comes back forward, foot lands to the ground. And then inhale, stretch the arms up tall, lift the heart, and exhale, fold in. From here, we're gonna try and walk forward on our fingertips. It's not gonna be for everybody. So you're either on your fingertips, you're on flat hands, or you're setting your knees down at any point. Walk the hands, walk the hands, walk the hands, and then go ahead and set the knees down. Good. And then from here, flatten your hands, bring your hips forward, lower onto your belly. One little back thing, and then we're going to turn over. Okay, from here, bring your elbows so that they're right over your wrists, and then draw the elbows together. Lift the shoulders from the floor and slide them down away from your ears. Your forehead can be on the floor. And then extend your legs back, point through the toes, and press down through the tops of the feet. And then as you inhale, imagine somebody's pulling the crown of the head and the heart forward, and then that extension allows them to rise. Keep hugging your elbows in and dragging your shoulders back. Squeeze that back body. And then exhale, just lower down. From here, we're gonna roll onto our back, so however it works best for you to do that, shift yourself right on over to your back. Once you land on your back, take the knees in, hold on to them, and just make some little circles on the ceiling with your knees. And go the other direction. And then take the knees in wide to your shoulders. Slide the hands down your shin bones for maybe your ankles or maybe the outer edges of the feet. And then try to bring the soles of the feet together and lift them up. And then try to bring them in towards your chest. And then take your tailbone back down. So it's like you're in a Baddha Konasana. And then go ahead and actually release your feet down. And you can support the outer thighs to do that, or you can bring them in and set the feet down, let the knees open. And then take the arms wherever it feels good. They may rest on the inner thighs, by your sides, in a loose cactus. We're gonna take one cleansing breath, and then we're gonna move back into that breath with our holding the ribs. So take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out the mouth. Let the hands settle back to the ribs, 4 fingers around the front, thumb around the back. We're going to inhale for, let's inhale for 4 and exhale for 6 this time, or maybe you do 6 and 8, just depends on you. Okay, let the eyes close, soften the shoulders. Exhale all of your breath, and then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhaling 1 from the bottom to the top, 2, 3, until you fill all the way up, 4, pause. Exhale, slow it down, 6, 5, keep going, 4, 3, pull the belly in at the end, 2, and 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, soften your face. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your arms. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. If you can, fill up as full as you can get. Sip in a little bit more air. Soften your throat, soften your face. And then as you exhale, let it all out the mouth as if you're deflating a balloon. Let the arms relax. Let the legs extend. Come into your final resting pose, Shavasana. melting into the earth, letting your breath return to your natural rhythm, letting your body rest in its natural state, letting your whole being rest in Shavasana. Today I'm flying low, and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must, the bees in the garden rumbling a little, the fish leaping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness. One of the doors into the temple. That was by Mary Oliver. If you are able to stay here resting in stillness, stay just as you are. If you're ready and needing to transition to the rest of your day, start by simply noticing your body here, feeling it on the earth, feeling into all of the layers of your being as you rest here, supported. And then start to begin to deepen the breath. And let that deepened breath transition to slow, gentle movement. And then let the hands come to rest on your body. Perhaps one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, or wherever else they might be called to rest. But feel into that connection with yourself, that honoring of every part of you. And send every layer of your being love and gratitude, compassion and respect. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be awakened to the light of our true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing and kindness for all beings. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day.